Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be teaching you exactly how you can get a smaller waist as a man. So why would you want to get a smaller waist? Well, having a smaller waist will give you the appearance of a better shoulder to waist ratio, which is the most attractive trait on a man's physique. That V taper, the wide shoulders and the small waist. Similar to how men love the hourglass shape on women, women really love that V taper on men. And both of these shapes signify fertility and health, which we are unconsciously attracted to. So how do you actually shrink your waist to reduce the number of inches around your waist circumference? Well, the thing that will shrink your waist the most is definitely going to be losing body fat. So if you're 20% body fat, then your waist is not as small as it could be. You want to get down to like 10 to 14% and you'll be looking very lean and still have a good amount of muscle. So to lose weight, you want to get into a small caloric deficit of like 250 to 500 calories to steadily lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. And you'll need to keep training your muscles close to failure and eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight or 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight in order to preserve your muscle. If you cut too hard without training and without eating enough protein, you're going to lose a lot of muscle, and that's not what we're trying to do here. We want to keep as much muscle as possible while cutting our body fat down. I recommend getting into a calorie deficit using exercise by walking more, standing more instead of sitting, just increasing your activity and your metabolic rate. This means you can still eat a comfortable amount of food, but you get into a caloric deficit because you've increased the amount of energy you're expending. And recent research has showed that this appears to be better for your metabolism than cutting down your food intake, at least if you're not morbidly obese. So other than losing fat, is there any other ways you can actually shrink your waist? Well, you can do stomach vacuums, which is an exercise that works the transverse abdominis muscle, which wraps around your abdomen like a corset. And training this muscle will strengthen it and tighten it, actually making your waist a little smaller over time. Old school bodybuilders used to use this exercise a lot, and it's a very common part of posing for bodybuilding today because when you perform a vacuum, your waist obviously shrinks. To perform a vacuum, you want to stand up, breathe all the way out, like emptying your lungs, and then suck your belly button towards your spine as far as you can. And you hold this position for like 5 to 20 seconds. And then once you've done that, you rest, catch your breath, maybe rest for like 30 seconds, and then you repeat this until you can't squeeze in anymore. So you want to train this muscle to failure. Do it a couple times a week and you'll really strengthen your transverse abdominis and shrink your waist. But remember, the most important thing to do is to lose body fat by being in a caloric deficit. And I like to point out that doing normal ab exercises won't make you lose belly fat. You can't choose where you lose fat from. Like, you can't burn belly fat by doing ab exercises. When you're in a calorie deficit, you lose fat from everywhere on your body. Some people store much more fat in their belly and hips, and despite being lean everywhere else, these areas might still have some fat, and you just have to cut even further in that case. Especially South Asians, unfortunately, tend to have a hard time losing belly fat because most of their ancestors went through famines, which led to altered gene expression to store extra fat around the belly and hips to protect against starvation. But that being said, here are some pictures of some Indian bodybuilders from the early 20th century. And remember, steroids didn't exist back then, so this is what's possible naturally, even with not the greatest genetics for leanness and bodybuilding. Other than actually shrinking your waist size, you can make your waist appear smaller using illusion techniques. So if you have wide shoulders and a wide back, especially your side delts, your rear delts and your lats, those are the muscles that will give you that appearance. That's going to make your waist look smaller in comparison. So for your side delts, you want to do lateral raises, maybe upright rows. For your rear delts, you want to do bent over lateral raises, reverse flies, face pulls, and lots of rows. And for lats, you want to do pull-ups and rows, and these are especially good if you tuck your arms close to your side. That will really target your lats and make your back much wider. Another illusion technique you can do is have short hair. So having short hair will make your shoulders, neck, and your chest and that whole area look bigger because your hair kind of takes up less of your silhouette. And this indirectly makes your shoulder to waist ratio appear better, like your whole upper body looks bigger in comparison to your head and your waist. If you've ever shaved your head, you'll probably know that you immediately look more muscular. I've done this myself and it's quite noticeable, like your neck, traps, and shoulders especially look bigger straight away. I don't really have an image to demonstrate this, but hopefully it makes sense. Another thing you could do is tuck your shirt in, which reduces like the kind of flowy appearance of your outfits. Like if you've got big baggy outfits, that's probably making your torso and your waist look like wider, a bit more boxy and not really as much shape to it. If you have like your shirt tucked in, if you're wearing a belt, that will pretty much make your waist area like as small as it can be. And you could accentuate that even more by having more like clothes that give you like wider shoulders, like a suit jacket. I know that's not really something that young people wear much, but that's just something to consider, like kind of bring in the appearance of your waist by wearing like belts and having maybe tighter fitting clothes like around the waistline. So anyone can do all of the things that I described in this video, but keep in mind that waist size is largely genetic. You might get super lean, train your transverse abdominis and get a really wide back and shoulders, but your waist might still be quite big because that's just how your bone structure is built. If this is the case, then you can improve your situation, but you'll probably never have a tiny waist. And that's okay. You weren't meant to have a tiny waist. You have to lean into your genetic strengths. So if you have a wider waist, then you were meant to be more of like a blocky, strong, solid build. And I think you should lean into that kind of strongman, barbarian look by building your neck, traps, shoulders, back and arms. Ultimately, small waists are attractive to women and bodybuilding judges. And obsessing over getting a small waist doesn't really serve you, especially if that's just not in the cards for you genetically. In terms of functionality, a thick, strong waist is way more useful. And if you're jacked and strong, people really aren't going to care that your waist is 36 inches instead of 30. If you do want to get a small waist and that amazing V-taper look, then this program that I've written, the Todgy Physique program, is perfect for that. Basically, the whole program just teaches you how to get a V-taper. I lay out the exact workouts, the reps, the sets, the exercises you need to do every week. I tell you how to progress and what to eat in order to get this V-taper physique. So check that out in the description if that interests you. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope this video has given you the tools you need to build a V-taper and a small waist for yourself. Let me know what you think in the comments if you've got any other advice, and I'll see you in the next video.